Annelida, it is the phylum Annelida is usually it is organ system level. Okay, and here in our Annelida you can see like bilateral symmetry will be present, and the coeloms are coelomate, and those coelomate are schizocoelomate. Okay, it is called as schizocoelomate. Segments are present, complete digestive system will be there, and there is a presence of circulatory system and absence of respiratory system, right? And the bodies are segmented. The bodies are segmented. We'll see what is that clearly. Okay, when we talk about Annelida, the common name of Annelida is segmentation. Okay, and usually it is mostly free living organism. Okay, it is free living organism which will present in both aquatic as well as terrestrial. Okay, and it is bilaterally symmetrical. Okay, and it has made up of, it is originated from triploblastic and as well as eucoelomate. Okay, and it will be having a complete gut, so the digestive system will be complete and the circulatory system will also be closed. And it has a nephridia, which is a specialized excretory organ. Okay, it is a specialized excretory organ as well as which helps for osmoregulation also. Okay, which helps for osmoregulation also. And there is a parapodia. Where the aquatic mammals will be having a parapodia. Parapodia means like lateral appendages, the legs which are present in the lateral parts. Okay, the legs which are present in the posterior part or the lateral part is called as parapodia, which is usually present in aquatic mammals, which helps in swimming. Okay, and it has a nervous system which has a presence of paired ganglia. It has paired ganglia, and double ventral cord system will be present. Okay, double ventral nerve cord system will be present. Okay, but they both are interconnected by lateral nerves, or both this paired of ganglia and double ventral nerve cord will be connected with the lateral nerves. When we talk about reproduction, they are monoecious. Monoecious, usually earthworm and leech are considered as monoecious. That means within a body, both male and female organ will be present. Okay, and some dioecious is also there. Example, Nereis. Nereis comes under dioecious. Okay, it undergoes sexual reproduction only. Okay, examples are Nereis. The common name of Nereis will be sandworm. Okay, then the common name of Nereis is called as sandworm, or it is also called as ragworm. Okay, Ferretima, earthworm, very familiar one. And Hirudinaria, it is also called as blood sucking leech. Okay, so this is what you have to study for your analytics. Let's move to the next phylum, which is called as Arthropoda. Even every kid knows this. Arthropoda, which is the largest phylum. Arthropoda is the first largest phylum, and this Arthropoda will be having a chitinous endoskeleton. This is one important point. Chitinous exoskeleton. Sorry, it is exoskeleton. The outer layer will be filled with exoskeleton. Right? It has an organ system, and the symmetry will be bilateral. Coeloms are coelomate, presence of coelom, and here also it is schizocoelomate. Okay, segmentations are present, and there is a complete digestive system, and there is a complete respiratory system, where this respiratory system will be open type. But here in Annelida it was a closed type. Okay, Annelida it was closed type. Here the respiratory system will be having a tracheal part. Okay, it has a trachea. It undergoes tracheal system of respiration, and it has an external endoskeleton as well as joint appendages. Joint appendages means joint leg. Okay, fine. So we'll see what is this clearly. When we talk about Arthropoda, which is the largest phylum, okay, almost two-thirds of the known species are present in arthropods. Okay, and a huge class which is involved in this Arthropoda is Insecta. Okay, it has a huge class which is called as Insecta, right? Okay, and the habitat will be almost, it has occupying all type of habitats. Okay, bilateral organ system. Okay, and triploblastic and coelomate will be present. The arthropods, it has a joint appendages which is called as arthro. Okay, the name Arthropoda itself, Arthropoda. Okay, so arthropods means joint legs, and the most important features are the presence of chitinous exoskeleton. Okay, so this will helps in resisting in an unfavorable condition. Okay, which helps in unfavorable condition. Okay, then it also has a respiratory tracheal system. It also has a respiratory tracheal system in insects. It has a respiratory tracheal system in insects, and gills, book lungs, as well as gills, book lungs, and book gills are also present. Okay, the circulatory system will be complete here, and that is open type of circulatory system. Excretion will be done with the help of Malpighian tubules. Excretion will be done with the help of Malpighian tubules, and especially in insects. Okay, and the sense organs, it has antenna. Okay, it has antenna. Okay, and it has eyes, eye spots, which is simple or compound, both eyes will be present. Okay, and it has a statocyst. It has statocyst, which is helping to balance in water. Okay, balance in water, that is called as statocyst. Okay, and when we talk about nervous system, ganglion will be present. Ganglion will be present, as well as double ventral cord system will be present. Okay, when we talk about reproduction, it is mostly dioecious. Okay, it is mostly dioecious. Usually it is, the fertilization will be internal, and mostly it is oviparous. The development will be maybe direct or indirect. Okay, when we talk about examples of arthropods examples are differed into three types. One is economically beneficial insects, and another one is vector based insects. Okay, and rest all like gregarious, like groups of, okay, those types. When we talk of economical, okay, when we talk about economical importance, Apis, which is called as honeybee, okay, Lacifer, lac insects, and Bombyx, silkworm, okay, which is Apis used for provides honey and bee wax, Lacifer, which used for providing lac, and Bombyx, which used for silk obtaining, right? And when we talk about a vector-based insects, mosquitoes like Culex, Aedes. Okay, so Anopheles mosquito, which is a vector for spreading malaria. Okay, Culex, which is spreading filariasis, Aedes, which spread dengue. Okay, housefly, which spread diarrhea, and CC fly, which spread African sleep sickness, which causes African sleep sickness. Okay, and sandfly Kala Azar. Okay, most of all these insects will be included in arthropoda. And one of the one living fossil which is present in at present generation is Limulus. This question being asked multiple times in NEET. Okay, Limulus is the living fossil. Okay, it is also, the common name of Limulus is called as king crab. The common name of Limulus is called king crab. Okay, and gregarious pest. Gregarious means which present in group, right? Okay, so it is Locusta. A common name of Locusta is called as locust. Common name of Locusta is called as locust. Okay, and other insects are Lepsima, which is called as silverfish, butterfly, moth, and Drosophila, and dragonfly. These are all the normal insects. And non-insect type of arthropods are there. So all this comes under non-insect types. Okay, this all comes under non-insect types, but usually they will be having joint appendages and some other factors which resembles like an arthropods. Okay, examples are scorpions, prawn, crab spider, millipedes, centipedes, etc. Right, so this is what about arthropoda. Next we'll be moving to mollusca. Okay, mollusca, when we talk about mollusca, it is the second largest phylum. Mollusca is the second largest phylum, and this mollusca will be having a radula. Very important point. It has a radula which files like a rasping organ. Okay, it file like a rasping organ. Okay, so you can say it is also helps in protection, defense, all these things. Okay, it is the second most phylum. It is the second largest phylum. This largest phylum name is because of it has a huge class. It has a huge class, Gastropoda. It has a huge class which is called as Gastropoda, or it is also commonly called as Univalvia. It is also commonly called as Univalvia. Okay, fine. And the bodies are unsegmented. The bodies are unsegmented. Okay, they are unsegmented and they are soft bodied. Okay, they will be having, those unsegmented body will be having head part which possess the sensory tentacles. So this head part will contains sensory tentacles. Okay, foot part which mainly concerned with locomotion. Okay, which concerned with mainly locomotion. Body part which will be covered with calcareous calcium. Okay, calcareous shell for protection. Okay, and it also has a mantle cavity which is a space. Mantle cavity is a space between the visceral hump and the mantle. It is a space between visceral hump and mantle. Okay, so usually the shell will be produced or secreted from the mantle part only. Okay, so feather-like gills are also found in mantle cavity, right? Okay, it has a radula that already we discussed. And reproduction, when we talk about reproduction, mostly it is oviparous. Okay, mostly it is oviparous as well as it is dioecious. Okay, it is dioecious. Okay, and the development will be indirect. Okay, when we talk about examples, okay, Aplysia, which is commonly called as apple snail. Pinnectada is called as pearl oyster. Okay, it is called as pearl oyster. Loligo, which is called as squid. Okay, octopus, which is called as devilfish. Okay, Dentalium, which is called as tusk shell. Cephia, which is called as cuttlefish. Architeuthis, which is called as giant squid, and helix, which is called as land snail. Okay, guys, again I'm saying common names are important for this animal kingdom chapter, right? Okay, fine. Let's move to the next phylum, which is called Echinodermata. Okay, so this Echinodermata, usually it is marine. Okay, exclusively it is marine. Okay, so it can be seen only in the marine region. Okay, and it has organ system, radial symmetry, and coelomates are enterocoelomates. There is an absence of segments. There is an absence of segments. Complete digestive system will be there, and the open circulatory system will be there. Okay, open circulatory system will be there. Respiration will also takes place, and it has one important factor which is called as water vascular system. This water vascular system helps in locomotion. This water vascular system helps in locomotion, food, okay, in intake of food, okay, and respiration as well as excretion. So all major process will be done with the help of this water vascular system. So they are radial. Okay, they are radial in adult. Okay, they are radial in adult, but they are bilateral in infant. Right? Okay, so this is what the basic thing. And when we go for deep knowledge, Echinodermata, they are mostly spiny bodied. They are mostly spiny bodied, or you can say spiny skinned. Okay, they are also called as spiny skinned animals. Okay, it is because of the presence of endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles. Okay, usually it is marine, and the larva, as already we discussed, the larva will be radial, and as well as the adults will be bilateral. Did I mention wrong? Okay, I'm sorry. Radial will be by sorry guys, just make this change. Okay, so radial will be present in larval stage, that means in infant stage. Bilateral will be present in adult stage. Okay, just change it out. Okay, so radial will be present in infant or larval stage, and bilateral will be present in adult stage. Okay, fine. And level of organization, it is organ system level. Okay, and gut system is completely complete digestive system is present, and it has one water vascular system which is going to perform locomotion, capturing food and transporting the food. Excretory organs are absent. Okay, instead, like the water vascular system helps in excretion, all these things. Okay, reproduction. Okay, usually it is unisexual. Okay, these organisms are unisexual, so it is dioecious. Okay, and they will undergo sexual reproduction, and the fertilization will be external. Development is also indirect. Right? When we talk about examples, again coming to the important factor, examples, estuaries. Estuaries is a common name of estuaries is starfish. Antedon, common name of Antedon is sea lily. Okay, Echinus, sea urchin. Okay, Cucumeria, sea cucumber. Okay, Ophura, it is called as brittle star. It is called as brittle star or serpent star. Okay, it is called as serpent star. Echinocardium, it is also called as heart urchin, and Ophiutrix, which is also called as brittle star. Right, so these are all the examples of Echinodermata. Okay, next we are going to the last phylum of today's session, that is Hemichordata. Okay, when we talk about Hemichordata, okay, Hemichordata, hemi itself, it is stomo. Okay, so it has stomochord. Okay, it has stomochord and it is ectodermal in origin. Organ system is present. Okay, and bilateral symmetry, pseudo, that is enterocoelomate. Okay, absence of segmentation, complete digestive system. Okay, everything is like complete. Okay, now it is like almost complete. Okay, so circulatory system is also present, which is open circulatory system, and here gills will act as a respiratory organ. Okay, and those organisms which are involved in Hemichordata, they will be having proboscis, collar, and trunk part. Okay, let me explain this. So Hemichordata, recently it has been given a status of phylum. Remember this, it has got a status of phylum very recently. Earlier it was considered as a subphylum. Okay, since it lacks notochord, now it is taken under phylum. Okay, so habitat will be maximum, it is marine. Okay, bilateral symmetry. Okay, it is triploblastic and eucoelomate will be present. The body will have anterior proboscis. The body will have anterior proboscis. Okay, so that means the head part. Okay, and it also has the collar. Okay, which is the neck part. Okay, collar part, and the long trunk will be present. That is your body part. Right. So this is how the organisms which is present in Hemichordata will be having a body organization. Okay, then when we talk about respiration, it uses gills as the respiratory organ. Okay, and excretion will be done with the help of proboscis gland. This is one important point. Excretion will be done with the help of proboscis glands. Okay, the glands which arises from the proboscis part. Okay, here the excretion takes place. Reproduction, usually it is dioecious. Okay, and the fertilization is external, development will be indirect. Examples, two examples given in your NCERT. One is Balanoglossus. One is Balanoglossus, which is also called as tongueworm, and Saccoglossus. Okay, so this is all about your Hemichordata. So with this, I'm winding today's session, guys. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start the chordates completely. In chordates, we have to study about class, subphylum, and all those things, right? Okay, hope you all enjoying this video. Okay, so if you feel like this is comfortable, this mode of teaching is comfortable, just do let me know in your comment section. I will be very happy to continue throughout the complete syllabus, right? Okay, thank you so much, guys. I'm winding up. Thank you. Bye.